I know that human being and fish can coexist peacefully.
Hello and welcome to the Spoilt Milk Movie Podcast. Here at Spoilt Milk, we like to discuss, dissect, and destroy guilty pleasure movies. And then we decide whether the film is truly spoilt milk, or whether it's ascended into a fine, luxurious cheese. So without further ado, let's go.
Warning, this podcast is full of spoilers for the title feature, and there's bad language from the start. If you've never seen the film, or you're offended by bad language, you have been warned.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Spoilt Milk Movie Podcast, where today we are talking about The Haunted Mansion from 2003, starring Eddie Murphy. We've got a few extra people here today and a couple of dogs in the room as well, so this is going to need some editing. My name's Cham. To the left of me, we've got Katty. How are you, Katty?
I'm all right, huh?
And then we've got the Hobo. How are you, Hobo?
No.
Of course. And now we've got Zac. First time being on the podcast. How are you, Zac?
Yeah, I'm not too bad.
Not too bad. Love it. And then you're joined by Laura. How are you?
Hello, I'm good.
I've heard that you like planes, trains, and dogs.
Yes, in my spare time.
Right, lovely. Well, before we get on to the... I don't even know how to class this film. Comedy horror?
Yeah.
Comedy?
Family
horror?
horror.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're going to be discussing our top fives, which today we are going for our top 5 ghosts. Katty, you're going to start us off, aren't you?
I am. So my favourite ghost is...
Here we go.
Pardon me.
Why such a formal introduction? Everybody.
What's favourite ghost?
It is the Nana from Paranorman.
Love Paranorman.
Yeah, good choice.
Yeah.
Not seen Paranorman.
Oh.
Have you not? It's
Yeah.
right good.
Is that stop motion, is it?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
No, I thought we were just...
Paranorman. No, yeah.
Okay.
It's Leica and all theirs are stop motion. What's...
Are they ones who did Caroline as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same thing as Caroline.
Hobo, Coraline.
Get it right.
I thought you'd know.
No, I've not seen it.
Why are we together?
Hey. Oh, my feelings.
So why the Nana? I can't even remember a ghost Nana.
You see her right at the end. It's just right at the end. She's there just knitting.
Spoiler! Have you just
Sorry.
ruined Paranorman for everyone?
Well, no.
Especially for me. No, I wouldn't.
I mean, it's not the best ghost in the whole film, but she's my favourite.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, why are you throwing her under the bus so quickly?
What was she knitting?
I think it just looked like a scarf. It was just like
Oh.
a rectangle, but she's there like with a little bun on and her glasses sat on the sofa while family around just like knitting.
So Katty's got her shoulders hunched, she's closed her eyes, and she's doing a knitting motion.
It's gonna be me.
So it doesn't matter if that's the ghost or not. If that was just a normal Nana in the corner, you'd be like, that's the best character in the film.
No.
Oh, okay.
Do we find out anything like how she died or anything like that?
No, well, she's a nana. She's old, isn't she?
I thought you were going to say the ghost Nana from Ghostbusters 2. And it's the guy from Ally McBeal, and he's got a bonnet on, and he's like, I get the child. That's probably quite racist. I'll move on from that. So yours is from Paranorman.
Yep.
Or Hobo will probably call it Paranathan or something.
Caroline.
Super Norman.
Yeah. So Zac, you're going next. Who's your favourite ghost?
Well, I think my favourite ghost is Slimer from Ghostbusters.
Nice.
Yeah.
Absolutely love Slimer.
That was up there. That was probably going to be my one. Good call.
I've got a question though about Slimer. Like, what was he? Like, before he died, what was Slimer?
A hobo.
I like to think he was a fat guy from Monty Python's Meaning of Life.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Who has the wafer thin biscuit or whatever. Oh, nice body shaming there. But what is Slimer? He's just...
Why do you like Slimer? What is it about his shape or form?
Well, I just think he's cool because he can, what he can do is he can just throw slime at people
Yeah.
and slime them to the walls or something like that.
Does he drive a bus in one of them? Or am I remembering that wrong?
No, it drives. He drives
think so.
the Ghostbuster-mobile.
No, I'm sure in the second one, doesn't Rick Moranis goes to get on a bus and Slimer's just driving it, isn't he?
Oh, I think so.
I do remember Slimer in a hat.
I think it is Slimer.
Yeah.
He's driving the bus.
And I like Slimer because he can fit lots of sausages in his mouth.
That's a weird reason to like something.
Is it? Yeah, I love Slimer as well.
Is that the movie version more so than the cartoon version? Because I really like the cartoon version.
I think it's both for me.
Okay.
Both.
He's good.
Yeah.
It always scared me when I was a kid, right at the end of the first one, where the film finishes and then Slimer goes,
Oh, yeah.
at the screen. Anything that came at the screen, and I was petrified.
Do you not like 3D movies then?
No.
Is that why you tried to give me your 3D TV?
I'm trying to give that away at the moment, someone else.
Well, I was watching this music video ages ago when I was small, and I think it was a messed up version, and then they played the song and it got through to the middle, and then this weird person with long hair, weird eyes, weird nose, weird moustache just came screaming at
That
you.
sounds like me.
Oh, is it
In the
does
middle,
it
I
pop
think,
up?
Scare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I literally threw my iPad across the room. Luckily, it didn't smash.
What music video is this?
It's like a spoof thing, and they do it with all sorts of videos. You'd be watching something that cuts halfway through, and there's just this zombie guy
Do you remember back in the day, it was the one with the car going across the hills?
Oh, the
Yeah.
energy drink advert, yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's modern version of that because Zach, how old are you now?
Coming up to 12 in December.
Yeah.
I know it threw me off when you said through my iPad. Because if I was a kid, I'd be I had to throw my Etch-a-Sketch or throw a giant TV.
My paper and quill.
all right.
Oh, deep end.
So Laura, while you're on it, you're next. Was it you next or was
It
Hobo
wasn't.
next?
It was Hobo.
Oh, right, you're going next.
Definitely
Go on.
After you, Hobo.
Oh, okay. I'm kind of thrown off. I forgot to check what my other ones were after Slimer. Funnily enough, because we watched Casper recently, I'm going to go for Bill Pullman's ghost in Casper. Because the dad,
Oh, the dad.
when he dies, he's a bit drunk, so he comes back as a drunk ghost and he's going, hey!
He's basically you.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why you like him.
I aspire to be that guy. And he looked very good in his brown jacket.
Yeah, you know what? If someone said, what's Hobo like when he's drunk? I would say he's like Bill Pullman ghost in Casper.
Thank you.
I was going to ask you about, why does he keep his jacket
I don't know.
and Casper doesn't?
Why did he stay clothed?
Yeah, and glasses.
Maybe it's because he's freshly dead, because the woman keeps her clothes as well. But
Mrs.
over
Critten
time,
Kitten, or whatever her name is.
yeah, but over time they say you lose your form. So they become more like ghosts. So
More like blobs.
yeah, exactly. Like Fatso.
You lose fingers.
Yeah.
You don't really get characters called Fatso anymore in films.
It wouldn't be
Stinky
cool.
and Stretch.
Yeah, oh, I like Stretch.
It's too PC nowadays.
Yeah, it is. Isn't it? You can't-
Don't body shame that ghost.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with not body shaming. Or do you want to bring body shaming back? Are you?
No, I'm
Okay.
all right.
All right.
It's just sometimes PC goes crazy.
I love Casper. I can't get enough of it. I've watched it far too many times. I've definitely told the story about the slow clap at the cinema, so I won't tell it again. But just lovely, lovely film. Laura, do you want to go next or do you want to go last?
Can I go last?
Yeah, of course.
I only
She
found
said-
out about the top 3 about 10, 15 minutes ago.
She said you had a paper and quill as a child. Make her go next.
Not far wrong. I'm going for Ghost of Christmas Present from Muppet Christmas Carol.
Nice.
The big, jolly, come in and know me better guy.
Oh, the ginger guy with the one that looks like Richie.
Yeah, we discussed this recently. I kind of expected that to be yours, Katty, to be honest.
Too close to home.
Yeah.
I love it. I love the film. I was torn whether to go for him or Marley and Marley. Right, because I love the Marley and Marley song.
My third one was actually the Ghost of Christmas Present. Future side, because
What, the creepy baby?
Yeah. No, what's the one that looks like death and points?
Oh,
I thought that
is
was.
that from Scrooged?
Oh,
Did they
is
have it in all of them?
Yeah, there's like a death thing in all of them.
No, it's definitely in Muppet one where there's one, but what is it?
Yeah, past is the creepy baby one. Future is the death.
Yeah, it's because you're gonna die, innit?
Yeah.
So, what is it? Just his jolly nature?
Love his jolly nature. Love the look of him as well. I like the fact that he's kind of half a man and then half like a puppet, so his head flaps around and stuff.
Oh, it's like Hagrid.
He is like Hagrid, yeah.
Hagrid in puppet form.
Yeah, he's just a jolly little guy, big guy.
You sound like
That's why I love him.
Santa.
I was going to say that.
He does look like Santa though, doesn't he? Maybe he's young Santa before he goes white.
Oh, could have had the taxi driver from Scrooged.
Oh, yeah.
He's a good guy.
Yeah. Yeah, the one
Yeah.
who's like got red eyes, has he got? And sharp teeth?
Yeah, and he smokes a cigar and he just looks like.
Looks like he could be Katty's mate.
Yeah, looks dirty enough.
We just need to start putting in the description pictures of old Katty's faces she pulls.
Yeah.
The taxi driver one was great.
So, Laura, it's your time.
Oh,
Get that quill out.
Okay, I'm going to get my quill out on my phone. I'm going for Nicholas D. Mimsy Porpington.
What?
Is that a ghost dog?
No, it's not a ghost dog.
Ghost dog.
Porpington.
So Nicholas D. Mimsy Porpington.
Is this some sort of ghost mouse?
He's also known as Nearly Headless Nick.
Okay.
Harry Potter.
Of course, Harry Potter.
Yes.
Jesus.
Stop.
What? Nearly Headless Nick is a ledge. And he's played by John Cleese as
Yeah,
well.
and he likes to be called Sir Nicholas.
Oh, sorry. I'll say that again. Sir Nicholas is a ledge. I'm just getting done tonight. Getting told off.
Why him though? Of all the ghost paintings,
So when I read the books as a kid, like obviously the books are a lot more different to the film. But when I read the books as a kid, I really liked his character, and there was a lot more ghosts in the books, and they didn't really put that into the film, and I think it ruined it. But in the film, I love it because when Hermione says headless, like why nearly headless, and he like just flicks his head off, and it scared me when I first watched it because I was really young when the first one came out.
did it scare you when you read it? When you read, he flicks his head half off. Did you go, whoo?
Well-
And then he throw your book across the room?
Yeah, instead of an iPad.
Your Kindle, your Nook.
My nook. But yeah, he's
what the
the
heck is a
Gryffindor
nook?
ghost.
Isn't that one
don't
by?
know.
It was like one of the
An
early.
e-reader.
Yeah, it was an e-reader. It's
Oh.
dead now, I think.
Okay.
Right, so that's all 5. Go do like a round table.
Are we not going to try and narrow it down to 3?
I don't know. Do we need to?
No,
We normally try and fight it out.
I
don't
think
we?
that's if there's 4 of us.
Oh, okay.
we have to get rid of 2.
Yeah.
I'm saying yours straight off, Hobo. So
I reckon top 5. Let's have it. Why not? Tis the season for
What?
scares.
ghosts and
Yeah, ghosts and ghouls.
ghouls.
Yeah. So, Katty, what was yours?
The Nana from Paranorman.
And Hobo?
Bill Pullman, Dad Ghost from Casper.
And Zach?
Slimer from the Ghostbusters.
Wonderful. And Laura?
Nearly Headless Nick from Harry Potter.
And mine was the Ghost of Christmas Present. So we'll be back shortly to talk about. Did you hear how I like back? That wasn't on purpose. To talk about the Haunted Mansion.
This is a break from the podcast. This isn't fake, it is real. Grab a biscuit, a Kit Kat, or toffee, maybe some samosa.
Hello and welcome back to part 1. Is it part 1? Am I allowed to say that, Hobo?
It is part 1.8.
1.8 of this Haunted Mansion, or the Haunted Mansion episode of the Spoilt Milk Movie Podcast.
Does anyone ever say the?
I know, yeah.
Yeah, I when I was Googling it, I didn't put in.
You barely even say the. You'd be like, Haunted Mansion. It's haunted.
I wouldn't even say that. I wouldn't even say haunted.
You'd say haunted.
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 Haunted Mansion.
Haunted mansion.
Oh, okay.
We've got
You keep
2
it.
people from down south, proper speakers. How would you say it? How would you say the name of this film?
The Haunted Mansion.
Lovely.
The Haunted Mansion.
We will aspire to be more like you two. So,
Felt like I
Katty,
learned lesson.
what the heck is this film about?
So we've got the dad. Well, it's a family film based around a family. Got the dad who's like a real estate guy. So an estate agent.
Come on, Katty.
So he's an estate agent and his wife's giving him loads of grief about, sorry, burping, not spending enough time with his kids and that. So he's like, oh, we'll go on holiday then.
Are you siding with the dad in this already? Are you like, he's hardworking and she's giving him loads of grief?
Well, what's she doing?
She's wanting to celebrate their anniversary, and he's swanning off to work.
With whose money?
She works as they're a team. Yeah. They work together. She's just, back at home.
Or do they work together?
He's just in tiki bars. Sorry, carry on.
Anyway, she's giving him grief about like not being around that much and working too much, and so they're like, right, well, let's go on holiday then. And so they're off on holiday, but on the way to the holiday, they stop off at this mansion so we can try and sell it, or like try and get get a listing for it. Turns out it's haunted.
Haunted.
So I assume they just get out of there in the first few minutes and then the rest of the film is at the holiday.
Have you never been in an haunted mansion?
Have you?
I have actually been in the Disney Haunted Mansion that this is based off. So.
And did you just get right out there?
I tried. It's one of those things where it keeps moving along, so you're trapped.
Has anyone actually been in what they would class a haunted house?
I think so.
I guess, yeah.
How do you know if it's a haunted house?
Well, the one that I went in, it was this... Well, I don't really think it is a haunted mansion. This amusement park.
Oh, so it was a park ride to make you scared and things like that.
Yeah, and what it did was it used to move around and the house used to shake. And when you were walking up to it, you saw the house shaking and everything.
Nice.
It was at Dimchurch.
Oh, yeah, I've been in that one.
That sounds good. Where the hell's Dimchurch?
Oh, in Kent.
Oh.
But
I only know things up north. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's like...
But unfortunately, now it's been pulled down, I think. Yeah, because we
So all
went...
the ghosts are set free?
Yeah.
I guess so, yeah.
Ooh, like Mr. Blobbyland. That's been like abandoned, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Did that have a lot of ghosts that were set free?
Oh,
No.
it looks creepy.
Yeah, it does.
Really?
You can go now. You can sneak in.
Oh.
We should do it.
Yeah. I mean, we should do a podcast episode from
Inside Mr. Blobby's house.
the haunted house.
Over your phone, it's like talking over the microphone.
We'll do it. We'll treat it like Blair Witch and just
Found footage of Mr. Blobby's house.
Yeah.
So you've been to the real haunted mansion in Florida, was it?
I've been to Florida and I assume there's one in Paris. I've been to the Paris one.
You've been to both?
Yeah.
It's like loads.
Fancy
There's like
hobo.
one in Japan and
Privileged
that.
childhood.
Yeah.
Get you.
I haven't been
I
to
know.
one in Japan. There's another one in America, isn't there? Not in Florida.
Yeah, Orlando is... I know that
That
is
is
Florida. Yeah, is it in LA or something?
I think so, yeah. But I haven't been to both.
Been to 2 Disneylands. Wowee.
I used to work in an haunted pub.
I thought you were going to say in
I used to work in Disneyland.
Wait, so now you worked in a pub. Why was it haunted?
Because there were just weird stuff, things that you could not explain used to happen.
Like what?
Like glasses smashing.
It's a pub.
Yeah,
Lots
but-
of smashing every day.
There'd
And
be,
everyone goes, way!
like, there'd be no one in the pub barring like you and the other person that you were working with. You close up on a night, you put a glass on the side of the bar, and it'd literally just explode.
Are you talking about the pub that I've been to?
Yeah.
The one that is like, it's like a theme park ride.
Yeah.
Everything's like crooked, and
Yeah.
if you put something on a side, it's going to fall over.
It's a
'cause-
14th century building,
Exactly, yeah.
but if you put something on top of a flat surface, that's not.
Well, we had a
Leaning.
glass that just exploded here, like just washed
Ghost.
it up, put it there. It'd been there for about 5 minutes and then randomly exploded, didn't it? And just
When?
chucked. It was like not long after we first moved in. It just exploded out of nowhere.
Haunted.
No,
Spirits.
It was clearly like a temperature change in a weak glass, which is
Haunted.
Haunted.
There were 4 glasses that exploded, literally one after another after another.
Are there any exploding glasses in this film?
No.
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 Well, there you go. No
There's
proof.
unbreakable windows, so
Yeah.
non-exploding
Unbreakable
windows.
windows.
Oh,
yeah.
we had unbreakable windows because they were plastic.
Ooh.
So we follow the Evers family, is it? Is that what
Well,
Evers, Evers and
You
Evers?
can do the...
Yeah, there's this quote. So you know how he works for Evers and Evers,
Yeah.
the company. There's this quote that says, "Hi, I'm Jim Evers. I work for Evers and Evers, and we're here to keep you happy for Evers and Evers."
Do it in a
Nice.
cheesy
Good
American
memory.
accent.
Hi. Nope.
That was good. It was a bit southern, wasn't he?
Hi. No, that's British.
It's okay, you don't have to.
Cham, you do it.
Ha! Evers and Evers. I'm trying to do Eddie Murphy. No, not very good. I'm making waffles.
As long as you didn't do anything from his like raw stand-up, probably not suitable.
So we've got the family, they go to the haunted mansion, but before we get there, we get a little bit of the family dynamic, don't we? We see that the couple are arguing, their marriage seems to be a bit tested at the moment, and then we've got the frightened son, who's a bit scared of spiders.
Reasonably so.
Like it.
Yeah, I'd be scared of that giant spider on my window.
I'm good with spiders. I love spiders.
Yeah, right,
I think
okay.
they're cute. Once I had one crawl on my hand, and my mum was going mental. Dad was just sitting there, and I just had it on my hand, and it was fine. It didn't bother me being on my hand.
Would you give a spider a kiss on the head like you do with like a dog? And like, would you do that to a
I probably wouldn't if it was poisonous, but if it wasn't,
spider? Smart choice.
yeah.
I found out the other day that ladybirds bite.
What?
Oh, and what is it, like too weak to break your skin or something?
No, that they can like cause you some skin irritation.
Don't
Oh.
insult the
That's
ladybirds.
probably the orangey yellow ones.
All of
No.
them? All of them?
Not all of them. There's some where it looks like a normal ladybird, but it's got a white spot on its head.
Oh.
Like it's got on its little black face. It's got a white spot right in the middle of its head.
I'll have to keep my eye out.
Only because I got stung the other day.
Buy one.
No, whilst walking by wasp, whilst walking moose.
Buy a wasp.
And the ladybird used passing when I could have done that.
Well, no, I've not been stung since I was a kid, so I just didn't know what to do. Like, do I have to text someone? Like,
Text someone.
text someone?
All right. No, it's like text 111 or something.
Hurt because I haven't been stung in so long. I think I've got this irrational fear of it hurting like it's gonna kill me when it probably is just like, oh,
It felt like I'd walked through some brambles.
oh, okay,
So, like, one had got stuck in your leg.
yeah.
I mean, it's left a right mark on my leg.
So the kid's a bit scared, and then the older daughter, I don't really know
She
what her
just,
thing
like,
is.
She doesn't care, does
Just
she?
up for the ride. And then they end up in the mansion, and then we meet Ramsley, don't we?
Oh, I hate him.
Yeah.
Ramsley.
Ramsley.
He reminded me of you, Hobo.
I
You
loved
just-
Ramsley.
Yeah, of course you
I
did.
was tempted to put Ramsley on my favourite ghosts because
It's the way he talked, like, he talked like this all the time.
it was good old Terence Stamp just hamming it up.
Yeah.
And it was amazing.
He looked like he was having fun.
Yeah.
Nobody else did.
He just like had this straight face
Yeah.
that kind of creeped me out.
Yeah, and he had those like eyes with like the bags under. But yeah, he was good. And then we meet the master of the house as well.
The weird
Mr.
guy.
Gracie.
Gracie.
Gracie. Completely forgot about
Gracie Manor.
Gracie.
The actor didn't really stand out for me.
Who is he?
Don't know.
I don't know.
I've never
Should we
seen
have
him
a
in
look?
anything.
Well, I found out because I didn't know when I first watched it. I realised that in the guy who plays Rex from Toy Story's in it.
Oh, yeah, he is, yeah.
It took me a few minutes to
Yeah.
get.
What's
Wallace
his name?
Shawn.
Wallace Shawn, yeah.
He's also
Like,
in a film called The Princess Bride,
Oh,
where
yes.
he says "inconceivable" a lot.
And what did he say in this? Because it was something like
was-
that, but he didn't say
Yeah,
it.
write it down.
Insufferable or
Yeah.
something
He
like
was
that.
clearly referencing it. So if you like him, you might like The Princess Bride.
The guy who played Gracie is called Nathaniel Parker, and he was in Beverly Hills Ninja.
Oh wow,
Oh, classy actor then.
Oh wow!
Also Stardust.
Never seen it.
I like Stardust.
Of course.
Never
yeah.
seen it.
Some
You'll
other
probably
stuff
like it.
that no one really knows anything about.
Who would
he
you
was in
have
a
liked
Moomins
to have
film.
seen him play? Like, what actor would you have liked to have seen
Oh, good question.
Mr. Gracie as?
Oof. Oh, I don't know.
What's his name? Who plays Silver in James Bond? You know, the bad guy, and is in No Country for
Mads
Old Men.
Mikkelsen.
No Country for Old Men. He plays Sugar.
Oh, Javier Bardem.
Yeah, Javier Bardem.
I was going to go a different angle, Kyle MacLachlan or whatever from Twin Peaks, and just go really weird. What about yourself?
That could work.
I think it'd have to be like a pretty boy, wouldn't it? Like that sort of.
Are you thinking the guy from Outlander?
No, actually, I was thinking more like like Zac Efron or
Zac Efron.
Someone pretty.
That would make the character less creepy, I feel.
If he just got his six-pack out.
Yeah.
Okay, no, that would make it more creepy.
Xylophone on his abs.
Yeah. And then you find out that like he's actually Matthew Perry, but then he's young again.
No.
And then he goes to school and he's 17 again. He's not 13 again, 17
Oh, no,
again.
I was thinking
Classic.
of, which is
13 going on 30.
Wait, so which is the one, what's the difference between them?
One's
Nothing
13
really.
and one's 17.
One's a boy and one's a girl.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so yeah.
Like Postman Pat.
What?
So then we find out that there's some kind of like curse, don't we?
Yeah.
When do we find that out? Like from the ball head lady?
Yeah, as they call it, the gypsy.
Yeah. One of Katty's types.
Well, it all starts off when it's like when they have this argument in the room, and then Ramsley just pops out of nowhere, and it made me jump. And then he goes, "The master would like to have a word with you in the library." So he goes down to the library and then waits for Master Gracie, and then he pretends to be Master Gracie, and then he just knocks the statue.
Yeah, and he's
And
got
then
that
this-
head and
yeah,
the
and
door
then
opens.
Door opens. So that's how he, because he runs to the door where the gypsy lady or the bullhead lady.
That's it,
is.
isn't it? Right.
Whatever you want.
Well, shall we call it for part one there? Because this is the point where all the family gets separated.
Yeah.
And then we'll pick it up in part two to talk about, or part 2.7, whatever, to talk about what happens
It's
then.
going to be part 2047.
2047.
Yeah.
Right, okay, I'll remember that.
Okay.
Until part two. Bye.
Woo, bye.
I know the human being and fish can coexist peacefully.
Welcome back to part two of this episode of the Spoilt Milk movie podcast, where we're talking about the haunted mansion. The family have just been separated. We've got Eddie Murphy, whose name I can't remember, something Evers. And we've got Jim Evers. We've got the wife Evers.
Sarah Evers.
Yeah, she's off. She's just swanning off with some dude who you think should have been played by
Gene Wilder.
Gene Wilder. She's off with Gene Wilder. Don't care about her kids at all. She's with him for the long haul.
This is my point at the beginning. He's hard at work and she's just slutting it about.
Yeah, do you know what? I'm starting to like sway more your way. He looks after the kids a bit in this house.
I think she was a bit under a spell for a while. Like,
but it's not
like
obvious.
a purposeful spell, just a bit like charmed by this ghost, I would say.
That's not a spell. That's just being
a
charmed.
slut.
Let's not slut shame here.
She's being a slag.
All my exes were under a spell.
Technically, it wasn't Sarah Evers' fault for being with Gracie.
Why?
Because Gracie thought that she was Elizabeth.
I don't think she did. I think she was just loving a bit of whatever's Gracie.
I don't think so, because at the end she ran away. ran away.
Yeah.
So you think she was under a spell?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that they could have made that clearer, though.
Another vote for the spell.
Yeah, but she could have been under a spell, but he could have at least done some kind of like, ooh. That was a hand movement.
Like a wave of the wand when you're under a
point,
spell.
Like she's essentially just getting a tour around and he's showing them a bits and bits around the house. Well, she didn't realise that the kids are like following
But why aren't you thinking, where's my kids?
Yeah. When she's just looking at his magic
She
wand.
probably thinks the dad's with them. So
Well, why is she thinking, where's my husband and my kids? They don't know where I am. This house is massive.
She's probably thinking, thank God I'm away from my kids and my husband for a while.
Then you just give her a little shout or a text message like, I'm going to wander around.
Well, this is pre-text messages.
Yeah.
Is it 2003?
No, they had cell phones.
Yeah.
Right.
But
okay.
only he seemed to have one. I don't know if it was...
Because he was making bank, that's why.
So, also the daughter had one as well.
Oh, did
Because
she?
Oh, she did, yeah.
when the
Floaty orb
the ghost
thing.
ball came in the room,
Ghost ball.
whatever it's called.
Yeah.
That was real Elizabeth, wasn't it?
Yeah,
In the end.
it was.
Spoilers.
She dropped her phone,
Oh, yeah.
and I'm surprised it didn't smash because I think it was like this concrete carpet floor.
Phones
Carpet
back
floor.
in those days, they were like bricks.
Yeah,
You
Yeah.
could
Yeah.
throw it
Like
out of a
a Nokia.
moving
Yeah.
vehicle
Yeah.
and it'd be fine.
I loved the jump scares in this because they still got me. Like, even the one right at the beginning where the kid's at the gate and it did that weird, like, bang thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then throughout the whole film, like, the jump scares got me. Like,
He
screaming.
was the director's nephew, that kid at the beginning.
Was it?
Really?
Yeah, because I
never
was
knew
like
that.
sat there thinking, why is this bit even in here? What's it got to do with the film? And then I watched some like documentary about it. Not documentary, but a making of. And it was like, this child was played by the director's nephew. And I was like, oh, there we go.
Well, the second time I watched it, the part you were talking about where it jumped, it scared me again because it was just like this random thing.
Well, I remember seeing this film at the cinema.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, because it came out in
Lucky.
2003. And how old was I then? I was, I think, 10 years old, 10 or 11. No, yeah, 10 or something around that age. Yeah, I was around Zac's age, basically. And I remember going to the cinema to watch it, and it scared me, and I had nightmares.
God, I was 20 when this came out.
I was born in 94, so...
Yeah, I'm in 83. So you were one when Jurassic Park came out. Anyway, sorry.
So,
Still great films.
at this point, we know that Grace is trying to get back with his wife. And
Yes.
I think it gets a bit muddled when like they have to try and fix this.
Yeah, so what is Ramsley's motivation? Is he wants them to get married because are they in purgatory?
I think he wants someone to replace his, or like take place of his like
Dead wife.
dead wife, yeah. And so he thinks this one who looks exactly like her.
No,
when
but
she
why
dies.
though? Why does
So-
Ramsley want that?
Ramsey... Sorry, you go.
No, go on, you go.
There you go.
Well, at the start of the film, they found this letter,
Yeah.
and it said something like, "I want to get married to you," and it was in Elizabeth's handwriting.
Yeah.
And they said that apparently Ramsley, the butler, had put poison in a drink.
So he poisoned the original one. So why did he want the whatever his name is, Mr. Whatever, to marry this new one?
Probably because so he can poison another person as
Do you
well.
reckon that's it then? He just
I got it.
You reckon? Oh,
Oh, I know it because I've seen this film quite a few times.
I've only seen it once.
So I
First
think
time.
they were playing on the fact that it wasn't right for Elizabeth to marry Mr. Gracie back then
Yeah.
because of the colour differences. And it wasn't acceptable.
Mm.
But because of that, they faked her death by saying that she poisoned herself, but he actually killed her.
Mm.
And then that was a really dark hanging scene, which
Yeah,
for a
that
kid's
was,
film, which
yeah.
I was like, fuck, that's really bad. But doing that caused the whole house to go into purgatory.
Right.
And to release the purgatory and for everyone to go to their places as ghosts, they have to get married and he needs to find his true love again.
So
It's like a weird Beauty
was
and
that
the Beast
clear
thing.
for
Yeah.
everyone else?
No.
I've only seen
yes.
this. No, for like I can see that in the end that is what was happening, but I didn't get that. That's why Ramsley wanted them to get married. I know he mentioned something about there's worse places than purgatory, but I wasn't sure why he was going along with it.
I actually don't know why.
But I'm guessing that's probably
Yeah.
right.
'Cause you see all the ghosts when they're going on the quest to find the key in the graveyard. You see all the ghosts that are sort of just in purgatory. I loved that scene. That was like my
It
favorite.
was so good.
I like the singing heads. The barbershop
Really?
quartet. Yeah.
I like a barbershop quartet, and
They
they
were
grinded
great.
my gears.
I loved
They
it.
were the
Well-
best thing in this film.
I was with Eddie Murphy on this. I was like fully in Katty's camp. I was like, just tell him what he wants to know. And they were singing. And I was like, no, come on, tell him.
Just shut up.
Yeah, just answer his question.
It's like in Labyrinth for them two stupid doors.
Yeah.
Oh,
they
that
annoy me.
little caterpillar. It's like, oh no, you got it wrong way. It's like, why didn't you just tell her? Oh, if you want to go to Goblin Kingdom, go down there.
In that accent as well.
Well, is a Yorkshire lad
can't
anyway?
remember
It's a
it.
little
And
caterpillar.
I think the heads thing, along with the bit where Eddie Murphy's looking at the mirror and it turns into horror, are things from the actual ride.
Right.
So they're talking. They do have like talking heads.
But
and-
did the ride come before the film?
Yes.
Okay.
But this is where, in the exact same year that this came out, Pirates of the Caribbean came out. And I know what's happened to that franchise, but that first Pirates of the Caribbean is a really good film.
Yeah.
I love all of them.
And
Yeah.
oh
Same
my
here.
goodness, we'll cover that another time. But they kind of were like, it's based on a ride, but then moved far away enough from it that it was fine and it was its own story. Whereas this, when they were bringing those heads in, I was like, that's clearly from her. And when he walked by that hall and those two heads like looked at him, I was like, I bet that's just from the ride.
You see, I love stuff like that. Like in
If you've not been to the ride, you're just like, well, what's this all about?
yeah, but no,
It's
I
a
still
haunted
like it.
mansion.
Didn't you?
Yeah, but it's like, what's the film called where they're doing like the sleep experiment thing? Not the sleep experiment.
Flatliners?
No,
Yeah.
it's in a massive house.
Oh, you mean The Cure for Wellness or whatever?
No, it's like an old film. It doesn't matter. It's got Catherine Zeta-Jones in it. Anyway, anyway, there's this massive old mansion, and like her bed, like the headboard is all like carved like cherub faces, and while she's asleep, all like you see it at first, and everyone's just, all the cherubs are like, oh, I'm a cherub, looking right cute, and then while she's asleep, they all kind of turn and look at her. I like stuff like that.
Yeah, that's fine because that's like trying to scare you. But those like heads, I was like, what?
Yeah, but a head for a kid, something moving by itself is going to scare you.
I love the knights that jumped out.
When
at
you
the
watched
end.
this when you were 10, were you scared by those?
Yes.
No, I'm talking about the singing heads, not the heads in the wall. Were you scared by them? That's
were
the part that I
weird.
mean. I'm like, I don't get why they're there.
Okay.
They were
Apart from
annoying.
Fan service. They were annoying.
I
Thanks,
liked
Zach.
Didn't you say that the ride came out before the film?
Yeah.
That's probably what they used for the film. Then they probably used the ride,
Yeah.
shut down the park, and then just wherever it was, and just used the ride. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, they definitely did. They shot some of it on where the ride was.
Yes.
Because there's a bit in one of the scenes where you can see cables in the background where the ride
Oh,
is.
really?
Yeah.
Oh.
So they did shoot
I
some
mean,
of
it
it on
makes
there.
sense. That's an easy set. Just you've already got
Yeah.
it. Just get in there.
Free
Exactly.
trip to Disney.
Yeah.
Mm.
And
Save yourself some dollar.
loads of free props of like creepy zombies and stuff like that, which were really good. I think the bit when they were getting the key and those zombies were all coming out of the
Imagine if they incorporated some Jaws in it. Some of the Jaws ride.
Well, they were award-winning special effects. So it's Rick Baker, who's quite famous for special effects. I think he's done like a lot of big monster stuff in the past, and he won an award for his special. I don't know what the award was, but for the
He won an
special
award
effects.
on this one?
Because I had a look and I was like, the Haunted Mansions won an award, and it was for Rick Baker for special effects.
Good special effects.
So yeah, those zombies, they look good.
Yeah, but they all did. I was quite impressed by them.
Ooh,
Ghost effects as well.
He helped on The Exorcist.
ooh.
He's done quite a few. I've got it up. The Wolfman, Harry and the Hendersons,
Nice.
King Kong, Men in Black.
Right.
Sorry, I'm just going off topic here, but there's quite a few like horrors and
Yeah,
It
and
sounded
he
like you
was on the
said
pod.
Wolfman.
Wolfman.
When you said the
Yeah.
first one.
That's how we say it.
Wolfman.
Wolfman.
I thought we said that as a joke, though. Rather than Wolfman.
Laura's been listening.
Don't give me evils.
Taking notice. Wolfman.
yeah,
Wolfman.
I'm taking notice.
So
Postman.
one thing that bugged me a little bit in this, but it's not as bad as most ghost films, and it always winds me up, is why is there so many like inconsistencies with ghosts?
What do you mean?
Like why, when they were like riding out, why was the dinosaur from Toy Story guy, what's his name again?
Rex.
Rex, yeah. Why was him and the lady like these like blue phantomy spirits, but the horse was a skeleton?
Yeah.
And I was like, why everything should be the same? And they did do a thing which I liked where apparently the further away you got from the mansion, the more like less human they were. So the people who were in, when they rode away, they became like more glowy and stuff. But I didn't get why the horse was a skeleton.
Maybe
or why those were zombies.
Maybe it's because that horse has been around for that long. It's just
maybe it died before the spell, and that they've just brought them back with the spell.
Right, okay, so some are zombies
Maybe,
and some are ghosts.
Yeah.
Or maybe
Right.
some of the ghosts have been eating the ghost horse, you know,
Yeah.
they get a bit hungry and have a bit of ghost
cannibalism.
Yeah,
Right, okay.
exactly.
So you mean Harvester back in the day.
So I think we're getting to the end now. So in the end,
It doesn't even matter.
yeah, they have like a wedding ceremony, and the real Elizabeth comes back and meets her true love. They're happy and go to heaven, and then the Evers are all happy and go home and drive down a really long road.
Yeah, the thing is, the part that scares me at the end is where Ramsley goes, damn you all to hell, and then all these
That fire dragon comes out.
Fire dragons.
But then
just
it
come
gets
in
him, the fire dragon, doesn't it?
And then
I'm like, well, that backfired
Jim
on you.
Evers goes and tries to save him. And
He gets pulled down that hole, doesn't he?
yeah, and then what happens is I think Gracie saves Jim Evers from falling down.
he does, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So you think they're like enemies, but then he saves him, doesn't he? And he pulls him out of the hole. It totally backfired on Ramsley though, didn't he? He was like, oh hell or whatever, damn you, and then he got by the snake.
And I like the servants got their bit of redemption because they kind of just
They
have to
helped
go
a lot.
along. So
Wasn't it also really weird that like the actual what's the mum's name?
Sarah.
Sarah.
Was like snogging Gracie.
Yeah.
He's like, that's my wife.
He did acknowledge it. He did have a term being like,
All I'm going to say is you
bad
said
people.
it were wrong.
Slut.
She bad.
Right, so let's rate the film. So we're going to go whether it's spoilt milk if we think it's bad, or luxurious cheese if we think it's good. Oh, Zach, are you going first? So do you think it was spoilt milk and rubbish, or luxurious cheese and good?
Luxurious cheese.
Luxurious cheese. So 1 vote for cheese. And what was your favourite bit in it?
I think my favourite bit was where they were in the room with the gypsy lady. I thought that was funny.
Yeah, with the flying
instruments,
bands, all the trumpets and stuff. That was odd.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a good scene.
It definitely was.
Laura, cheese or milk?
Cheese.
Cheese, so second vote for cheese.
Yeah, it's like a childhood film almost for me, which is really odd because it's quite modern. Like a lot of my childhood films are films my older brother watched. So I got into Ghostbusters, Jurassic Park, but this is actually something from when I was a kid that I watched at the cinema, and I really enjoyed it. Like
nice.
The globy ghost at the end was really heartwarming, but Eddie Murphy annoys me, so I don't actually like Eddie Murphy that much unless he's Donkey in Shrek. So putting him aside, I just like the story. So cheese minus Eddie Murphy. 2
votes for cheese. Hobo, over to you.
I like Eddie Murphy. If anything, I'm more annoyed in this. He's not at his peak, because when Eddie Murphy is like trading places or anything like that, he is perfect. And he was just a bit too shy of that, unfortunately. But this wasn't too bad. This wasn't as bad as what I thought. So I think it's purely because of both Ramsey and the singing heads. I'm putting this in as luxurious cheese.
Hey, so 3 votes for cheese at this point. It's already luxurious.
Yeah, it's
cheese.
already won.
Yeah, does it matter? So what are you going for, Katty?
Spoilt milk.
You're going for spoilt milk. Why?
I didn't like it.
No.
Really? It's no Monster House.
No.
And like you said, Eddie Murphy weren't like Eddie Murphy,
But Terence Stamp was Terence Stamp.
It was just. I didn't like how 9 times out of 10 I didn't even know what were going on. Just like, have I missed something here? Like, has something happened in 5 minutes and I've just like passed out for a little bit? And I don't know, like, and the talking head, like the quartet,
they were great.
Bugged me.
That's why I watched it at least 3 or 4 times.
You just got to get into it.
I learnt my lesson with FX for that. It's not going to get better every time you watch it. So yeah, spoilt milk for me. Not a fan.
Oh.
Cham.
I'm going Spoilt Milk as well. I know. Do you know what, though? I think it's because I watched it too old. Like, I saw this for the first time yesterday. I'm 36 years old. Like, it's not for me. I think if I was 10 and watched this when it first came out, when I was the right age, I would have loved it, and I'd have been quoting it and loving all the head and the lady's head in the ball and stuff. I just think it wasn't for me on this occasion. So for that reason, I'd say Spoilt Milk. But it's luxurious cheese.
Yeah, we got done. I like the gypsy lady. She was good. Like
she's funny.
With
Just always talking in riddles,
crystal
which I
ball and
love.
stuff.
Madame
I enjoyed that.
Leota.
Yeah, Madame Leota.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I enjoyed her. Like I did. There was bits that I thought, you know what, this is not actually too bad. But overall, it was just like
The mansion looked great, and the practical like effects and the set dressings were wonderful. But yeah, so that is luxurious cheese for Haunted Mansion. Until next time, goodbye, Laura.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, Zach.
Adios.
Oh, goodbye, Hobo.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, Katty.
Tulip.
Bye for me.
I got you all to do it. That's all I wanted.
If you like the Spoilt Milk podcast, get your lazy ass over to Instagram at Spoilt Milk Pod. Also, hit like and subscribe, you son of a bitch.